Hello, fabulous second graders. I am so excited because today is one of my favorite scenes in the entire play. Plays don't have chapters, they have scenes, usually because the scenery, the things that you're looking at, change a little bit. So we're no longer in the marketplace. We are now outside of Antipholus' house. And for the first time in the whole play, we get to meet Antipholus of Ephesus. This is the guy who actually lives in the city, not the visiting one. And the Dromio that works for him, this is the Dromio that works there, that lives in Ephesus. And they're outside his front door. You're just going to have to use your imagination again. So this is his front door. And he has brought some friends home for lunch. And remember who's having lunch right now in his house: his wife, her sister, and the person they think is this Antipholus, but isn't. It's the visiting Antipholus. So let's see, when he comes home for lunch, what happens? So Antipholus is talking to his friends. He says, "Good Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all." So excuse me, Angelo, my apologies for dragging you back to my house. "My wife is shrewish when I keep not hours. My wife gets very upset when I don't come home on time. Oh, say that I lingered with you at your shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you will bring it home. I know, just say that I was delayed hanging out with you at your jewelry store, and that you were making my wife a lovely necklace, and that you'll stop by tomorrow and drop it off." "Ah, but here's a villain that would face me down." He's talking about, oh, here comes Dromio, that troublemaker. "He met me on the mart, and that I beat him and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold. Oh, he's got some joke going where he met me in the marketplace, and I hit him and said that he owed me 1,000 gold coins." That practical joker, Dromio. "And that I did deny my wife and house. I said I wasn't married and I didn't have a house here. Thou troublemaker, thou, what didst thou mean by this?" "All right, what do you mean by this joke? It was funny, but I don't quite understand where you were going with it." And of course, this Dromio did meet the other Antipholus, and he did get hit, and the other Antipholus did keep asking for 1,000 gold coins. So Dromio wasn't joking, and now he's really confused, and he says to Antipholus, "Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know. That you beat me at the mart, I have your hand to show. If skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think. Sir, you can joke around all you want, but I know what happened. If my skin were like paper and your hitting me, leaving bruises were like ink on the paper, you would recognize your own handwriting because you're the one that gave me all these marks all over." And Antipholus just goes, "I think thou art an ass," which in Shakespeare's time meant a foolish person. So don't say that word now, but in Shakespeare's time, a foolish person. So Antipholus is saying, "I think you're just a foolish person." And Dromio says, "Marry, so it doth appear, by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I think I am a foolish person, because I put up with you hitting me. I should kick, being kicked, and being at that pass, you would keep from my heels and beware of an ass. And if I really were a foolish person like that, and you kicked me, I should kick you back, just like a donkey would," which is another way of saying that word. So he's making a joke, a pun. And Antipholus is like, "Okay, I'm done talking about this with you." And he turns to his other friend and says, "You're sad, Senior Balthazar. Pray God our cheer may answer my good will and your good welcome here. Balthazar, you seem to be having a bad day. You know what? Coming to my house and enjoying a good meal with friends, I think that will help you feel better." And Balthazar says, "I hold your dainties cheap, sir, and you're welcome, dear. I don't really care about the food, but your welcome means a lot to me." And Antipholus says, "Oh, Signor Balthazar, either at flesh or fish, a table full of welcome scarce makes one welcome dish. Well, it doesn't matter what you like to eat, but if you sat down at a table full of nothing but welcomes, you wouldn't have a lot of food to eat. You might get hungry. And Balthazar says, good meat, sir, is common, that every churl affords. Anybody can set out a table with food. Takes somebody special to make you feel welcome. And Antipholus says, and welcome more common, for that's nothing but words. Okay, you say that everybody can have a meal, but everybody can also say, welcome to my house. It's just words. And Balthazar says, a small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast. You know what? Even if you don't have a lot of food, but you have a lot of welcome, we would have a fun time. And Antipholus says, aye, to a cheap host and a more sparing guest. I suppose that would be fun if your host wasn't willing to spend any money on you and you didn't care, maybe. But though my cares be mean, take them in good part. All right, let's finish our argument so we can go eat lunch. Better cheer may you have, but not with better heart. All right, you may find a better meal to eat someplace, but not offered to you more kindly or more generously than I'm going to do. And then he goes to his door and he tries to open it. And he says, but soft, my door is locked. Wait a second, the door is locked. Go bid them, let us in. So he's telling Dromio, get the door open. Call for the servants. And so Dromio now tries to get in the door. And he's calling for all the servants that work in the house. And he goes, Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cecily, Jillian, Jen. Like, come let me in, open the door. And remember who's been told to guard the door and not let anybody in? The other Dromio. So he's on the other side of the door. All that's separating him from his identical twin brother, his lost identical twin brother, is a door. There's no windows in the door. They can't see through it. So Dromio, who's been told to guard the door, and some rude person that he doesn't see or doesn't know, is outside the door just shouting names at him. So this Dromio inside the house yells back, Mome, Malthorse, Capon, Coxcomb, Idiot, Patch! Either get thee from the door or sit down at the hatch. Dost thou conjure for spirits that thou calls for such store? When one is too many, go get thee from the door. So he calls this guy outside a whole bunch of not very kind names and says, what kind of fool are you that you're just shouting names? Are you trying to work a magical spell? Get out of here. Go away. You're bothering me. And Dromio's like, but I live here. Why are you telling me to go away? Who are you? And now he starts kind of pounding on the door and shouting, what patch has made our porter? My master stays in the street. What kind of joker is guarding the door? Don't you know the guy that owns this house is standing out here in the street? And Dromio just said on the inside just says, let him walk from whence he came, lest he catch cold on his feet. I don't care who you work for. Tell him to go away. He's not coming in here. He'd better leave before he gets cold. And now Antipholus is wondering, why is it taking so long for his servants to open his front door? And he comes and starts yelling and says, who talks within there? Ho, open the door. Who's yelling in there? Come on, open the door. And the Dromio on the inside says, all right, sir. I'll tell you when, and you tell me wherefore. All right, sir, I'll tell you when I'm going to open the door if you can tell me why I should open the door. And Antipholus says, wherefore? For my dinner. I have not dined today. Why should you open my door? Because I'm coming home to lunch. I haven't eaten yet. And this Dromio says, not today. Here you must not. Come again when you may. No, you're not going to have lunch here today. Come back some other day. Bye. And Antipholus is getting really mad. Oops, he doesn't really knock over his friend. And he starts shouting, what art thou that keeps me out from the house I owe? Who are you to lock me out of the house I own? And Dromio says, the porter for this time, sir. I've been told to guard the door, sir. and my name is Dromio. Oh, villain! Thou hast stolen both mine office and my name. So instead of going, wait, I have a twin brother named Dromio, he just gets offended like, you liar, you took my job guarding the door and you stole my name, Dromio. Thou wouldst have changed thy face for a name or thy name for an ass. So you should change your face for did you take my face too along with my name? Because if you are, then I think you're a very foolish person to do all that. So they're yelling at each other. They have not opened the door. They haven't looked outside. And now one of the other servants comes over because, again, if people were yelling at your door, you would probably come to see. So this is Luce, a cook in the house. And let's see here. I lost my spot. I got so excited. Okay. Luce comes and says, what a coil is there, Dromio? Who are those at the gate? Wow, this is getting really noisy, Dromio. Who is at the door? Do you think Luce will open the door? Do you think they'll figure it all out? We'll find out next time. Bye, scholars.